Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you in another video. All right, so the score was 114-106. And the Lakers did not win the basketball game, but they did impress quite a bit, especially our role players, Jackson Hayes, Skylar Mays, Christian Wood. Those were guys that really stood out for me tonight, man. I just love what I saw with the minutes that they provided. Jackson Hayes was absolutely phenomenal, getting tip balls, offensive rebounds, getting, easy buckets underneath off of missed shots, just really helping. 2 blocks. I mean, he was just everywhere all over the floor. The stats didn't tell the story at all. He played so much bigger than the 9.6 rebounds and 2 blocks and 1 steal that he ultimately was credited. He was bigger than that. So that's why I want to start this off, man. Skylar Mays and Jackson Hayes, we got something. Hayes and Mays, baby. We found something. We just need coach to now use Skylar Mays a bit more. Because I love what he was doing with the 6 minutes that he got. I mean, you could clearly see that he just made us a better basketball team, man. Diving on the floor for loose balls at key moments, finding AD, finding Jackson Hayes. I mean, Skylar Mays just really popped off the screen. He was only down there for 6 minutes and made a massive impact in this basketball game. And like I said, Jackson Hayes, I mean, if we would have won the game, he gets the game ball. Stats out the window. His impact was just really, really phenomenal out there. I love what I saw from Anthony Davis, man. Anthony Davis gave us over 20 points, 4 blocks, 3 steals, something like that. I mean, several double-digit rebounds. He was all over the place as well. I liked his effort. We did have some missed shots down there that we'd love to have back, some missed free throws we'd love to have back. But, I have more good to say about this game than bad when it really comes down to it. We're fighting against a team that's clearly got our number on an emotional night. And we could have mailed it in. We were down by as much as 15 or something like that. But we were close all the way down to the last minute. And, the Nuggets do what the Nuggets do. The same way they beat us in the last 5 straight games, including the 4 games they swept us out of the Western Conference Finals, is the way they beat us tonight. Down the stretch, hitting shots, executing to perfection, and taking advantage of our mistakes. I mean, they just have our number, man. They see purple and gold, and they just know they can win. That's what it really comes down to. When a team has your number like that, you can't take the type of chances that we did and miss the type of shots that we did down the stretch of that game. The last 2 minutes is where we got beat. And they ended up running it up from a 3-point deficit to a 10-point deficit in a matter of like 50 seconds because we just didn't execute well, and they did. It was literally that simple. But the energy that my role players gave me tonight, Taurean Prince, must be given credit, man. I love the role that he now has. Coming off the bench, he was absolutely phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a better game from Taurean Prince in limited minutes than I've seen tonight. This is exactly the role you want to see Taurean. You give him this role every night, and he's going to do stuff that makes you happy, straight up. And that's exactly what he gave me tonight. I was happy with his play. Man, this was a hard game to lose for a million reasons. Of course, tonight's Kobe statue night. So I had, just a vested interest in beating this team. Obviously, Denver talks a lot about us, and I'm trying to keep from cursing, but they talk a lot of mess. And you want to beat them so bad on a night like this, but Jamal Murray's a killer, man. What you want me to say? Down the stretch of basketball games, it's almost like going up against the Bean, to be honest with you. It felt like going up against some version of the Mamba. That's what he feels like going up against. Every time we see him, no matter how much of a momentum swing you're on for your, in whatever you've just done, he's going to come down and hit you with a backbreaker. And he did that at least 3 times tonight down the stretch of this basketball game. I've known him to be one of the best closers in basketball since he was a rookie. I said that before he was drafted. I was like, yo, this dude is a killer of the highest order. And he's done nothing but prove me right ever since. And if you have him on your team, he's going to shoot you into a situation. He going to close games. And there's a lot of great closers in this league. I think he's one of the ones who has the gene, though. He has that gene that just, it was like, man, this guy's a killer, man. That's what was coming to mind. This is an evil monster trying to steal our momentum when we do something great. Most teams, and I mean most, don't have a player with ice in their veins like Jamal Murray. He is really an elite Hall of Fame level closer. And I really believe that. And he's going to go out there and continue to prove that throughout the course of his career. And when it's all said and done, he's probably is going to go in the Hall, man. He's already got a ring. And it's all about injuries for him. If he's healthy, this is what he does to you. And I can't I legitimately can't think of 5 people in the NBA right now more lethal than him in the last 3 minutes of basketball games. I can't think of anybody. He's just a consistent artist executing the basketball down the stretch. I don't think it's too many people better than him, period, when it comes to that. And so I have more to say about what he did to us than what it is that we ultimately did wrong, because that's what it really came down to. He was a nightmare of the highest order, killer of the most lethal fashion. And on a Kobe night, he did Kobe right. You know, he played homage to Kobe in a way that few can, and that he shot us down straight up in Kobe fashion. So highest praise for Jamal Murray. Also got to give credit to Michael Porter, who just shot the ball extremely well all night long, especially in the first half. He was really, really a killer as well, executing the ball so very effortlessly. And that's what you respect about the Denver Nuggets. They just execute very well. When you have that type of lethal shooting and that type of ice cold killers on your team, next to just a savant like Jokic, I mean, you really can see why they're NBA champions. That's not a fluke. And most teams would have lost this game tonight against us. Most teams wouldn't have been able to overcome our momentum, but they have the right type of mentality to say, I literally don't care about what you got going on. I'm not nervous in this moment, and I'm going to execute to perfection and heighten my game in the most important moments. And so, like I said, they paid homage to Kobe more so than anybody else did because of how they killed us, and in the way they did it, it just reminded me of him. They reminded me of him. And, that's what it was, man. You heard I haven't mentioned LeBron James. I did not like his body language tonight. I know he played a pretty good game. I love the tip pass that he had earlier in the game, and I don't want to blame him for more than he deserved or take away credit from which he really helped us in a lot of areas. But I really thought some of the key moments where things went wrong, it was him. Messing up on turnovers and missing shots that we really needed hit. He wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination. He came out of there with over 25 points, did some big time highlight things. But to me, it seemed like he was only half there tonight. It seemed like he was not in his bag tonight, and it could be a number of things going on, emotional things as far as the trade deadline, Kobe Day, just the whole vibe or whatever. The vibe that I got from him was he was disappointed that we didn't make some trades. And maybe I'm just tripping or looking too far into stuff, but I just felt like his body language showed me that he was not pleased. The problem was the people around him were energetic and playing well, and we needed him to match their fire in that fourth quarter down the stretch, and he just didn't have it. He was not a killer out there tonight. Jamal Murray was doing what I needed LeBron to do, and LeBron was doing things that just did not do it. I don't want to overstate it. I'm frustrated, but I didn't like LeBron tonight, man. I didn't like him tonight. And I don't often say that. And I've seen him, make it up too. He'll make it up, you know what I mean? He will play better. But tonight we needed him to come through in a different kind of way, and he just looked like he wasn't himself tonight. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And last but not least is Austin Reeves, man. Austin Reeves, he was awful tonight for the most part. He did have a key 3 down the stretch, clutch 3 that gives you hope that he can snap out of it. But we're really having a bad Austin season overall, man. It just is. It's a bad Austin season. He's having a down year, man, and we're struggling mightily on nights like this when we don't have D'Lo and of course I haven't mentioned yet, but the rolled ankle of Max Christie. We were just really down some guards tonight, and Austin he wasn't very good at all, man. He was very bad, in fact. And look, just like Stu Lance said, when you try to cheat a steal, try to go for a hard commit on a steal against a player like Jokic who masters an art of passing in rhythm, if you're going to double off of a shooter or make that type of decision off of a shooter, they're going to make you pay. And a team like the Denver Nuggets, we know this better than most teams. they execute so well down the stretch that the last thing you need to be doing is taking chances. And so one of the key plays that ultimately shot us out of this basketball game was Austin Reeves going for a steal that Jokic did not fall for on the weak side, trying to overcommit. He got the ball to Austin's man, and Austin's man hit the shot behind the arc, and it just gave us a spread that we could not overcome in that last minute of the game. So it's one of them games where it's like you play great for the majority of the fourth quarter, but the final minute, the other team just turns it up a notch that you can't match and sends you home. And that type of killer mentality is what hurt us in all 4 of the games in the Western Conference Finals. That type of late game execution that we could not match because we were making mistakes, bricking shots when they were just playing flawless is why we got swept. We couldn't win a single game against them, and we lost this game in the same exact fashion. And it's disheartening. It's embarrassing on Kobe night. And I don't think it's not going to be remembered the right way. This game isn't. The way it should be remembered is how we found something out of Hayes and Hayes, how good Torian played, how good Christian Wood played, the defense that AD was playing. Those are the things you want to remember about this game. But instead, we're just going to remember Jamal Murray shooting us down and us making some bad decisions as a team individually, if that makes any sense. Some guys individually did not match the effort of the rest of the team. And as a result, we go down together. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. So I don't want to undermine what LeBron did tonight. He did have over, like I said, 24 points, 25 points, something like that. Several steals, several assists, that kind of thing. He was, the stats showed he was out there and he was balling. He had some big time highlights, all kinds of stuff. But I pride myself on having a feel for the King after watching him for 6 years now. And his body language showed me that he wasn't all with us tonight. And I felt like if he would have been, he brings this game home. We go home victors. And that's tough. That's extremely tough when you're trying to celebrate Kobe Bryant that night. You know what I mean? It's extremely tough. And I just don't want to overthink it or be disrespectful because I really don't intend to. Because there's a lot of things that are going to be said about how he didn't show up to the statue ceremony, and I just don't want to incorporate that into how he played or the trade deadline into how he played. But he looked like he was very underwhelmed tonight. And the team, my guys, the young players on this team and the role players on this team, I felt were trying to drag him along in a way. I felt like it was the team, and then it was them 2 anchors. That's what it felt like to me. The 2 anchors was Austin and LeBron, 2 of my favorite players on this team. There were times out there where I know I can't win this game without them, but the way they played, I couldn't win it with them either. And that's how I felt about this game tonight. Everybody else held me down. I wish Max would have been healthy enough to finish the game. I wish we would have had D'Lo out there. But with what we had, them boys showed up, man. And we just couldn't get it from everybody tonight. That's how it felt to me. Mentally, that's what it felt like. Physically, guys were running around, guys were hustling, but there was a certain energy that Mays and Hayes threw out there. It was a certain energy that AD was bringing out there. It was a certain energy that Torian was bringing out there. Christian Wood and the energy he was providing. I just felt like they were all, we all in. We going for this. And Bron was kind of still in his vibe of what he was dealing with before he got on the court. Austin was still in his vibe about what he was dealing with before he got on the. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like to me, man. And we were trying to get there. We were all on the same page, except for just a few guys, man. And so, if I'm reading it the wrong way, I do apologize, because it's that kind of night. It's an emotional night. You really want to win. You want to blame it on somebody, but you got to give the other team credit because they're just that good. But I know we should have had some of them possessions back down the stretch of that basketball game, and I know who messed those possessions up. I know, and that's just what it really comes down to. But it ain't that simple. We missed some late game free throws. And the Denver Nuggets executed properly. They took this game from us. They showed a killer instinct that we do not possess. And that's why they got the championship and they went through us to get it. And as far as I could tell, if we were to do that again, it would be the exact same result. I'm just being honest. I don't think they would have any trouble beating us. Because if it comes down to a close basketball game, they still have a massive upper hand. And that's in late game execution and poise. And so that's pretty much what it is, man. I hate to say this, but the game ball goes to somebody on the Denver Nuggets because they won the game. Even though I know that it was plenty of our guys that left more of a memorable, a lasting memory on this game for me than probably the Denver Nuggets would have. But I'm giving the game ball to Jamal Murray because I'm consistent, and I feel like the game ball always goes to a winner. But Jackson Hayes, Skylar Mays, Taurean Prince, they stood out for me, man. Anthony Davis, they stood out for me. Even though I want some of them shots back that Anthony took, I thought he contributed to some of the bad down there too with the late game, kind of hook shots that just didn't match the energy that Hayes and Mays were bringing to the table. I really thought Hayes and Mays were bringing a certain level of speed, is the word. And Anthony was given a certain level of fatigue with a certain shot that bounced off the rim down the stretch. That kind of thing. It's like you could tell who's been playing all season and who's fresh with fresh legs. And I think that's really some of what it is I'm seeing in my mind's eye as I look back on that final 2 minutes of the game. So that fumble LeBron had, anybody can have the ball fumble off their hands. But that's unlike LeBron James. You're down by 3 and he fumbles off his hands. You're down by 3 and he shoots a fadeaway and it bricks. Yeah. Then you end up going down by 5 because the Denver ain't missing nothing. So that's just what it comes down to. Late game execution. The same thing we said in the Western Conference Finals. This just looked like a carryover from that. Nothing, no difference. Just the same two teams going up against each other and the Denver Nuggets executing the exact same way. It's just another game in that series. And if anybody's counting, we're 0-6. That's how that goes if the series were to continue. Denver never blows us out, though. Like, they blew us out in the first game of the season. I don't hardly even count that. But when we fight with them, we usually have a chance to win all these damn games. All 4 of the Western Conference Finals games, we had a chance. But we were never, it was like you're so close but so far because they just don't miss down the stretch. And we just don't have that same trait. We just don't have it. That's not who we are. Those guys are momentum killers. Those guys are soul snatchers. That is not who we are. And so that's just really what it comes down to, man. That's what I saw. So, walk away from this game saying, what the hell just happened? But I can tell you one thing. I definitely want Skylar Mays and Jackson Hayes to get more minutes. Especially Skylar Mays. We know Jackson's going to get his, but Skylar Mays has earned his even before he got here with Portland. I told y'all I was a fan of what he does. I know what he can do. I'm just waiting on Darvin to figure it out, to be completely honest with you. So I thought the rotations were better tonight than they have been in a while. But then again, like I always say with Darvin Ham, the more you pluck away from the roster, the less choices he has to make. The more you're going to see stuff you likely want to see. And so I thought this was a reflection of that to a degree. But, yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Extremely, extremely deflating loss, but extremely encouraging effort and energy from players that I don't see enough, man. And from guys that I think look better in the role that they're in than the role they've been in all year long. And I think that as it pertains to Taurean Prince, he just looked fantastic tonight, man. I don't want that to get lost. This is one of my favorite Taurean games. All the way through, he was good. And it's wasted. It's absolutely wasted. So that's really what it is, man. That's what it is. I can't say I'm angry or nothing. I just want everybody to be on the same page. And if we are, we have a much better chance of winning games against teams like this. But, when we got a couple guys not really with us, thinking about other stuff. And then, you got the young guys who are trying to prove themselves and live up to the energy. You just need everybody to follow them. That's what it really comes down. I need everybody to follow the guys who have the energy, regardless of who they are and what they're on. And tonight it was Hayes and Mays and Torian. They had the energy, man. And AD was a little close to having it. But Austin and Bron, I didn't get from them what I needed. I didn't get that confidence, that killer, that I believe in us and we gonna go out here and take it. I didn't get that from them dudes, man. I didn't, and I needed it, especially tonight. So that's pretty much what I gotta say. It's gonna take forever for this to upload. I decided not to go live, so forgive me for how long this takes. But you know, it's just how I wanted to do it. I think at the end of the day, when I go live and I do long videos, it also takes forever to upload because they're slowing down my processing. So like the video I did earlier today while I was walking down the street on live for about 45 minutes, it still hasn't processed. It uploads just as slow as these do. So it doesn't allow me to listen to it back. And this is something that I always want to do, is listen to my videos after I make them. So that's the benefit of doing it on my own. Plus, better microphone. So I might go live right now just to further talk about it, but I did want to get this video out. So that's what I got to say. Video 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.